Welcome to Driven by Janelle, the podcast where passion meets power and women take the lead on two wheels. What drives you to ride?
All right, guys, so we're here for another podcast. And again, we just like to thank Jet City Harley and Renton for allowing us to film and giving us the space here. We are filming on an exciting day in Jet City. There's so many people, and we just really appreciate them letting us film. So today on Driven by Janelle, we're joined by Dwayne and Cassie Beler, Seattle HOG Chapter leaders, riding partners, and husband and wife. Originally from Canada, Dwayne has spent the last 2 decades working in construction while dedicating his time and heart to the Harley community. He's been riding since grade school and currently serves as the chapter director for the Seattle HOG. Cassie joined him on the road in 2019, and the two have been riding and building community ever since. Let's hear their story, the roads they've traveled, and what riding means to them as a couple and as leaders in the riding world. So thank you, guys.
Great. Thanks, Janelle, for the intro.
Yeah.
Great.
So can you each share a little background about yourselves and how motorcycles came into your lives?
Cassie, would you take point?
So when I met Dwayne, he already had a couple motorcycles in his garage, and I was kind of leery of it at first, because to me that seems like something kind of scary. And one date we decided to, get on the. I decided with him get in the back of the bike and give it a shot. I had the greatest time. It was so much fun. And then I had so much trust in Dwayne that I didn't have to worry about what I was really doing. He gave me some pointers right from the get-go on how to ride as a passenger on the back of the bike, to not to help him turn and have the additional weight. And so when he told me what I needed to do, I embraced that and knew from there that this could be an exciting venture for the both of us. And so that first ride became a passion for me, and we decided to continue as what do you call it, 2-up?
As a couple.
Right. and ride 2-up on motorcycles. And then that brought us here to Jet City to get a larger bike.
Oh, yeah. What'd you guys end up getting?
We bought a 2021 Real Glide Limited. To jump back to Cassie, when we first met, I think it was, it's kind of cool to ask a girl on a date and then pull up on your Harley and she hops on the back. And then we rode to Alki Beach, watched the sunset. It was a really nice day. But she made a very good point about being a passenger on a motorcycle and how they play an integral part of making sure that the motorcycle stays straight by leaning with the driver, not against the driver. Also, as we mentioned earlier, an extra set of eyes and an extra set of ears. We're kind of limited with what we get to see, and with a full-faced helmet. So it's great having her on the back as a little insurance to make sure we get to where we need to go.
And we can communicate with microphones in our helmets,
Headsets.
And that helps a whole lot, because I can see ahead of us, knowing that if we're driving or riding in a group, that hey, this person just said that there's something in the road by doing hand signals. I can communicate with him in case he's not able to see what's going on a few lengths ahead of him. And then again, I think the most important aspect of being a passenger is helping with the turning. If I'm going the opposite direction, I can throw off the entire bike and cause an accident just by what I'm doing. So it's a learning experience, but not a difficult one, and it makes for a more enjoyable ride.
A safer ride.
Yeah. So was that your first date?
It wasn't
like the second or
our
third.
first date.
Yeah.
We met in Issaquah, and we went to dinner to Snoqualmie
Falls.
for dinner.
It's
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was our first date.
Yeah. And that's where we ended up getting married.
We got married
In
in 2021,
2021.
and it's been a great time since.
Wait, when did you guys, I feel like we know you, but when did you guys first meet?
We met in 2019 in June or July,
July.
or May maybe,
Yeah.
late May,
Yeah.
early June, and it was Cassie's my second marriage, and as I'm her second husband, and it was a
Online
little bit
dating.
online dating was
Really?
new for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was new for
It was
you
new for
or
me
not.
too, it was weird.
I don't drink, so to go into a nightclub at 49 years old, and
You don't want to be the 49-year-old in the nightclub?
not really. I leave that to you guys, right? I've done that though.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
done that. As you get older, you get a little bit smarter and a little bit wiser and more pickier,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, so it worked out really well for our age group. You fill out the questionnaire and they kind of find people for you. And we just we had 100% matchability.
Oh, gosh.
So, and it worked out. And
Yeah.
we're still together,
Here we
married.
are,
Yeah.
still married,
Still married.
4 years of counting. Dun, dun,
And-
dun.
And you made it through COVID and everything.
Oh yeah, we made it through
Yeah.
COVID. We got married.
We got
during-
married in COVID,
during COVID.
so which was weird. We couldn't have food service. We were limited to 30 people, and we had to wear masks. Everyone had to wear
Yeah.
masks, except when the officiant said, "You may now kiss your wife."
Gosh, and then you could take your mask off.
Take them off and then put them back on.
Yeah.
It was
So
just
you
a,
at the altar with your mask on?
yeah. It was just a weird.
It was a weird
whole
time,
thing
but we
was
wanted
weird.
to get married.
Right.
Didn't mind.
But that's when I have a Road King also a 2016 Road King, and so that was the first bike
Yeah,
that Cassie
and that was a
been
little
on.
rough on me.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's a smaller
felt
bike.
every bump, every
Yeah.
turn, and I was like, well, I can deal with this, but I'm getting older and things like that, so that's why we decided to look into a better bike for two people.
Yeah.
And I find our Road Glide is like the Cadillac of Harleys.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really enjoy the ride.
And that kind of falls into the whole Jet City story of how we came here. The first person we met was Amy, who was our sales gal. And when we walked into this store, we just came in to look at a used bike that I was looking at on the website. And when we walked in, the 21 Road Glide Limited, black on black, was the only bike on the floor. Because during COVID, everybody was on a bike. And people were trading in used ones and buying new ones, and we looked at it. I didn't come in expecting to buy a bike that day. I think most people don't come in expecting to buy a bike, but we bought it, and we picked it up a few days later, and there was a table. I'm not sure if it was when we picked up the bike or shortly thereafter. We came back for some gear or something. The Seattle Harley Owners Group had a table outside, a tent, and they were selling 50/50 tickets. And I went up and asked them and said, "Hey, what do you guys do?" And, "Oh, we're a riding group, we do this and that." We talked a little bit. So we ended up buying 50/50 tickets, and we
I
won.
apologize. What are 50/50?
Oh, so 50/50 tickets are a way for an organization to raise money. So they sell a ticket for, I think they were $1 each.
Yeah.
And whatever those ticket sales generate, half of that is given to the winning
Ticket.
ticket. So,
Right, and then the other half goes to
Goes
the
to the-
Harley Owners Group.
or to whatever organization.
Or
is
whatever
winning.
order, yeah, so it's a popular way of raising money, if it's the HOG group or a hockey game or baseball game you go to.
Right.
There's often a 50/50 raffle is the official word
Okay.
for what it is. And it's a great way to raise money, and everybody wants to win cash, so.
So we won.
And we
I
won.
got a phone call, right? It said you won, I think it was $39
Yeah,
or whatever it
something like
was.
that.
But the caveat was I had to come to a HOG meeting on a Saturday to collect the money. And so you stayed at home. I didn't know anything about who and what Seattle HOG was. And I rode down here on my bike and I sat in this room here, somewhere where that gentleman's sitting. And they said, "Is there anyone new here?" And I raised my hand and said, "Dwayne, stand up and tell us about yourself." And so I stood up and said who I am and where I'm from and what I ride and what color my bike was. And I'm just here to collect the 50/50 raffle money, and everybody laughed and thought it was hilarious. And so we ended up joining in January or shortly
No,
thereafter.
it was actually like October, I think, was our
October.
first official HOG member meeting.
Right.
And then by January, we were,
members in January, official members.
yeah,
And then we went on a camping trip.
right.
And the assistant director at the time had asked me if I would be willing to take his position. And he was going to be the director. I didn't know anything about it. It came as two things. It came as a surprise and an honor to be asked that for this group of motorcycle riders that had this passion. And so I said okay, and I stepped up, and that was my first year as assistant director, and Cassie's first year as treasurer.
I have an accounting background, and I was kind of keeping that on the down low because I've spent most of my adult life volunteering as a treasurer for various non-for-profit organizations. And as soon as our assistant director at the time found out that I had an accounting background, he was like, "Oh, hey, would you like to become treasurer?"
You're a treasurer.
So I said yes, and I've been doing it now for, I think this is my third year. Going on,
Yeah, your third year.
my third year. So it's been enjoyable. I enjoy being able to use my talent and in this aspect as well. So I'm glad that he convinced me to give it a try, and then having my husband with me makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah. So here I am 3 years later, 1 year as assistant director, and 2 years as director of this group. And the dealership, Jet City Harley-Davidson, has been an awesome sponsor for us. Especially Brian, the latest GM, who has been over and above and supportive of not just our group, but any events that we have and what we need. And we always ask, like, what can we do for you as your chapter, and he goes, the actual question is, what can I do for you? And to have that support by any dealership, but especially from here at Jet City, it means a lot to us, and you can see that as a lot of the members embrace the family values that this dealership has.
Right.
And it's been a great walk.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Even as we're sitting here, and it's the day before Easter, and there's like tons of kids
The
downstairs.
place is packed
Yeah.
downstairs.
Yes, with all the kids,
Right.
and Easter Bunny and a Harley jacket, which I think
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah. You haven't seen that?
Yeah, Easter Bunny, and so yeah, I think it's an amazing place.
It is.
Too.
It is.
Yeah.
A little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Canada, and I immigrated here in 2004. And like you said, I've been in construction for a long time, but I never rode a road bike until 2008, maybe 2007, 2008. I bought a Suzuki Intruder. It was my first real road bike. I have a dirt bike background, so to move from one platform of riding dirt all my life and then moving to concrete was a huge adjustment, not just for the safety gear, but also you have cars and semis and bridges, and pavement is not as forgiving as dirt.
Right.
And so to have my head on a swivel was new for me, and very eye-opening when I took my first riding class. And I remember the guy said, just ride like everybody's out to get you.
Yeah.
And you develop, as you do it on dirt, but especially road, this kind of sixth sense of you almost know when the driver to your right or to your left is going to turn before you do. You just kind of pick up on the natural abilities of how people drive.
Sure.
And more importantly, how they don't drive, how they don't use turn signals, cell phones, radios, domestic violence incidences in the car.
In the car,
people,
yeah.
Yelling
Seen
and,
it.
and fighting and objects on the road. I think we've seen everything from mattresses,
Suitcases,
a tub, ladders, lumber, tires, wrong way driver on I-90 at exit 22. Just to be, and also to watch for people throwing rocks off bridges, so it's, you definitely have your head on a swivel on a motorcycle. Does that take away from me enjoying me being on my Harley? Absolutely not. The benefits far outweigh the negative impacts of what happens on motorcycles.
Yeah. You don't want to give up that freedom.
Not yet. I'm 54. I still feel like I'm able to ride two wheels for hopefully quite a long time. We have some chapter members that are in their 70s that still ride just as hard and fast as they did when they were my age or even younger. It's just the passion that Harley-Davidson has for people and the freedom that you get when you're on a motorcycle with the wind blowing in your hair and the smells and the sights that you get to see. And I think another important part is the people you get to meet. You know, we've got to meet you and your staff and some of the other people that are in our Harley owners group, not just locally, but also nationally and internationally. We are the largest riding club in the world with over 1 million members, and in the United States alone, 400,000 HOG members.
That's a lot of people.
It's a huge organization that offers a ton of benefits of being a HOG member, and riding a Harley is just one of them. So.
That's amazing. So, Dwayne, I want to ask you more about just like your riding, just experience. So you did dirt biking mostly.
I started off in a dirt bike when I was in grade 7, so I was probably 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Right up until, well, my first road bike in 2008, somewhere there.
What made you do road bike?
Commute. So I was running a job at Boeing Everett, and my home was in Burien. So one passenger in my truck coming home from Burien at 2:30 on a Friday was awful. So it was an hour and a half plus depending on traffic. So it made sense to me at that time to buy a motorcycle and take advantage of the HOV lane and improve my commute time. That's what ultimately made me switch to from a dirt to a road bike was getting from point A to B.
So I'm still learning to ride a road bike, but how are the skill sets different, or how's it different?
The biggest skill set for me is I can't put my feet down, and that's still hard. So on my dirt bike, when you come into a corner, you can drop your foot a little bit and drag in the dirt, especially if you're trail riding or even on a track, to be able to lean over that little extra bit, put your foot down for a little bit of stability as you're braking into a corner and accelerating out of a corner. With the street bike, you don't have that option. So just recently, I've been riding for numerous years. A couple of weeks ago, I took an advanced riding class with WMST. And even though I've been riding for a long time, they asked what we hope to get out of that class. And I said, I've been riding all this time. I still want to put my feet down. It's hard, this different learning memory, muscle memory of doing what you used to do that you can't do anymore. And there was some fear going into corners with me of the bike we ride. It's a big bike. It's a cruiser bike. So you ride like this. That's how it's designed. It's not more of a street bike or a dirt bike designed to lean forward and in. So what I learned was to get rid of all that stuff that I brought into that class of leaning back and trying to put my feet down and riding it more aggressively how the bike was meant to be ridden. So that means sit up straight, lean into it, put your weight over your handlebar and how to brake. And in the past 2 weeks, I ride that bike completely different, that bagger bike, and how I used to. So different skill sets, different protective equipment. Dirt bike, you got boots and pants and the exoskeleton with the shoulder pads back, elbows, everything is geared up. Not so much with the street bike. I never really wore pads. Some people do. It's a personal preference. But definitely the riding, what's the word I'm looking for? The riding skills are different. But at the end of the day, it's still the same clutch brake, heads up riding.
Very interesting. It's just, I feel like every time I talk to someone about a different bike, I'm like, that's just a whole new skill set.
And all bikes are different. I also ride a Buell Firebolt, which is more like a better term of crotch rocket bike, where it's over the tank, very forward with your controls, feet back, single seat, a whole bunch of horsepower, light bike you'll low to the ground. Where that one you can lean. You don't put your feet down, but you can definitely lean a lot more without scraping your bags or your crash bars. Right? So different bikes, different riding techniques, as you'll find out with your two different legs that you have too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Fundamentally, they work the same.
Right.
Just how they handle, accelerate, and brake is a lot different. So,
Yeah, I feel like those are the kickers though. Braking.
what's that?
So those are the kickers though. Like,
Oh.
You know, the braking.
Right.
Yeah, just a
Right.
little-
Yeah, you can't put your feet down.
Yeah.
Like in dirt, you can put your feet down and drag your heels a little bit. You know, help you
Yeah.
slow down a little bit. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that's, you know, yeah, just all the skills.
right.
All skills.
Yep.
You need all of it. So I guess just kind of, I kind of want to go back to just the Seattle HOG.
Mhm.
I guess as director and treasurer, so like when you guys first joined, have you seen any changes or what have you enjoyed about, you know, just what you've brought or what you've seen?
What we enjoyed about, I think before we became primary officers, there's 4 primary officers. There's a director, assistant director, treasurer, and secretary. And as a group, we kind of lead and direct based on feedback we get from members of where the chapter is to go, what we want to do. And also from a business perspective, to make sure the bills are paid. We have costs associated with any nonprofit organization, internet costs. They're all unpaid positions, but we do have insurance costs and other things of that nature that our treasurer makes sure
Right.
we get the bills. So what I think and what I feel from feedback I've gotten from members is that the chapter has shrunk due to people getting older and people moving away. And one of my primary focuses of the chapter is to grow it. With Brian, our new GM, stepping in early last year, almost a year, we've been able to attract new riders and younger riders to our group. We've been able to put more rides on for our chapter members. We have an activities officer that allows outside events when we're not riding. We have road captains and a lead road captain. We have a full staff, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in previous years, it's been difficult trying to get all the little side positions filled. But this year we're fully staffed, and it's nice to be able to have somebody else do, like you were saying, ride a road captain, a whole slew of different rides throughout the year. We do a monthly dinner, so we have somebody who sets up the dinner days. And then like our cold months, our rainy months, we're doing a lot of things even here at Jet City, playing bunco, or we had a chili cook-off last meeting.
That I've
Things
won
that he won.
2 years in a row, by the way. So
Okay.
if you feel
So-
lucky for next year,
Right.
bring it on.
We are a nice, large family, but still a close-knit family.
Right.
So we would like to expand that with new members, younger members, and let them come and see that, hey, being on a motorcycle isn't just a single person or a single and your partner riding group, riding aspect, but it's an actual group if you want it to be. And it is a lot of fun to be able to ride as a group rather than just by yourself. And then these people become your family. I mean, they really do. We've got some cherished relationships from the few years that we've been here.
And just to follow up on what Cassie said, is some people don't feel comfortable riding in groups, and I get that. So there are events and rides that you can do self-led. So if you're not comfortable with 10, 15 riders on a Saturday, you can get up, and we have what's called a HOG Wash, a Harley Owners Group of Washington, that has sites all over Washington State, northeast, southeast, west, that you go to, you find this place, and you take your picture that you were there, and you submit it, and you can win a prize. So it's not just about riding in a group,
Right.
and it's not just about, coming to a chapter meeting. Cassie made a very good point. As family, we've met some great people, and
Absolutely.
we've still foster relationships with members that have moved out of state to Phoenix and to Idaho, and we miss them, but we know that they probably joined a HOG chapter in another state.
Right.
And we love everybody that's in our chapter.
absolutely.
They're just a great group of people, guys and gals, and it's a fun place to
Absolutely.
hang out. Yes.
I just joined 2 weeks ago. It was very welcoming.
Oh well, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's great to have you on board. And
Yeah.
as a chapter member, we just got to get you on that bike.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
Working on it.
Yes.
Yeah. I take my lessons.
Yeah.
but,
Good. Good.
Yeah. I mean, I can actually ride. I just can't ride past second gear.
Right. You'll get it.
But
You'll get it. We were all there. I was there.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to mention about the HOG group is that even though we're a local chapter here in Seattle, there are other chapters. There's a Bellevue chapter.
Mhm.
There's a chapter up in Linwood. There's a chapter in Tacoma. There's one in Eastern Washington, which, by the way, there is a rally in July. It's a HOG rally. Highly recommend to go
Right.
to it. Hopefully you can make it.
Mhm.
But there's also a lot of other events that we
The
go to.
oyster one should
There's the
be.
oyster run, which will be we're going to this year. There's a lot of other events, motorcycle related, and just because you ride like a BMW or a Kawasaki or a Honda, one of my best friends rides a Honda Valkyrie. My friend Tim, and I love riding with them. Just because I ride a Harley, you're not excluded, right? We have a passion of riding bikes, and even if you don't ride a Harley-Davidson, you're still welcome to join the Harley Owners Group. The goal would be to get you into a Harley, but that's just my own opinion.
Right.
We've had some members that, I forget the gal's name, that had a Suzuki Intruder, and she rode with us a couple times, and so just come on down and sit in one of our meetings. We meet the first Saturday of every month at 9 o'clock for the summer, for the rest of the summer, and check us out. And if you want to go for a ride, come for a ride. Love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing I've loved about the motorcycle community is how welcoming it is.
Mhm.
So that's just, you just don't find that everywhere. So
It's a passion.
It is.
And I used to be a boater, so I've owned boats. I've also found the same thing, that in the boating community, if you see somebody that is in distress or broken down or needs some help, the natural instinct is just to go over and, hey, can I help you with something?
Yeah.
And I found that with motorcycles. I've pulled over on the side of the road where I've seen a bike stopped. Hey, do you need anything? No, I'm good. Thanks for checking on me, brother. You bet. And continue on the way. I don't know how many times I've seen bikes on the side of the road where nobody has stopped, right? So it's definitely a community of brotherhood, and I mean that with sisters also, just looking out for one another, because it's a great sport. It's a fun passion, but it can also be dangerous.
Yeah. Just speaking of the dangerousness of it, I guess how, especially because you guys ride in pairs a lot, and I know you talked about, leaning together. Are there any other safety tips or things that you guys use to stay safe when you're both on the bike?
Visibility,
Yep.
right, is one thing. To be seen is important. I learned this with Chuck at WMST. How many people, when there's a collision between a bike and a motorcycle, the driver says, "I didn't see them." Right? So lighting is important. High visibility, whether it be a vest or reflective stripes.
When it's raining, we have gear that's bright orange,
Right.
so that the weather and the visibility is compromised. You can still see us.
Right.
It's not just to keep us dry; it's to keep us visible
Right.
to other people. So I think that's very important as well.
Another thing is riding within your limits. It's one thing to go out and ride when it's 90 degrees out. Make sure you stay hydrated.
Oh yeah,
Right? You're on a hot bike with hot pavement. If you don't have to ride in the rain or you're not comfortable with it, don't ride. Don't ride. Definitely speed is also another thing. Ride within your limits. If you're not comfortable or it doesn't feel right. But practice is a big part of that too. As you're going through some corners and it doesn't feel right and you have time, turn around and hit that corner again or that curve until you feel comfortable with it. Or come to a parking lot.
Right.
Any parking lot, you can set up some cones, and then you can practice your slow turns and braking into the corners and accelerating out.
Yeah, we did that. We did that with the sharp turns or the U-turns with two
Right.
people on the bike. It was a lot different than when if you ride single.
Right.
So we practiced that quite a few times just to make him feel comfortable when to start to accelerate as you're turning. What do I need to do? I want to make sure I don't lean too far over, or your tendency is to do opposite of what he's doing, which actually throws the weight off.
Right.
So it is very good to keep trying these new techniques out until you feel comfortable to where it's second nature.
Right.
Yeah, don't just say, oh, I learned that, and then move on. Just keep going back, and repetitiveness is a good key.
Yeah. Yeah, that course I took a couple of weeks, that's my third class I've taken. I think it's super important to sharpen our skills, and we become complacent, right? The bike has always done this when I've been on it, and then you change a variable. I can put Cassie on the back, or yesterday I picked up my daughter in Burien, and then we rode out to North Bend. So it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. She's not a very experienced passenger. We have traffic. She's talking all the time. She wants to listen to music and stuff. And so just to be aware of things can change in a moment, a blink of an eye, and to be prepared. I also wanted to do a shout out. We have a safety officer this year for our Seattle HOG group that has really emphasized safety for our group. And I found that with a lot of our officers this year, that they've really stepped up and stepped into the role. We didn't have that very much last year, where we played, our officers played multiple roles to keep the chapter going. This year we've had people who, like I said, have stepped up. We have lots of volunteers. We also do barbecuing in the summertime. I think our first barbecue is in May, the first weekend of May here in Jet City. Free hamburgers, hot dogs, and the dealership compensates us for that. Some money for the chapter and some money for the volunteer.
That's nice.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah. And I love hamburgers, barbecue.
Yeah, it brings a lot of people in.
It does.
Really does.
It does.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So.
Good, we'll see you here May 5th then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure
Good.
we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good tomato too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe we'll talk those.
Maybe they should bring a taco truck in
That's
too.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
That'd
Yes.
be cool. So, well, kind of getting back to you guys riding together. I guess, do you guys have like a favorite memory? You guys riding together, a favorite ride?
The drive
Well,
for me,
I know which one was the most memorable. That was the recent one, but
the one up to, that we did the Peninsula Loop.
yeah.
You want to tell that one?
So we just did recently did an overnighter with a couple of other members of HOG, Seattle HOG, and we didn't think it was going to be wet, but it turned out to be extremely wet. We got up there, we started driving up the peninsula, got into Forks. By the time we got into Forks, we were soaking wet.
We were soaked.
Just head to toe. And by the time we stopped to eat lunch, we were like, I think we're kind of done with this ride. But after taking off, the restaurant was really nice. They let us take off all of our gear, dry off, eat, and things like that. But after we had our meal and talked it over, we decided, hey, let's get all of our rain gear on and continue on. So I think that was the most memorable recently.
Recent ride.
But what I'm a big fan of seeing weird things or going and finding like the biggest ball of twine, and then I'm like, that's so much fun. So with the hog wash, that's kind of like what this is you go and you find these odd places that you're never gonna go and see on your own. I've seen a VW bus in a tree. That was a hog wash site this time. We went to the Troll Haven, and I don't even know what part of Aberdeen, and just in the middle of these farmland, there's this like purplish looking castle house, and it's got all kinds of trolls in around it. So it's so much fun to be able to do stuff like that. I think it's a great thing. I love going on overnights with Dwayne where we can just make a weekend out of it. It doesn't have to be a 24/7, all 7 days a week thing. We both work. We can do this on the weekends and just hit a few sites a weekend. And then as the weather gets better, we'll do more and more. But it's enjoyable. It's relaxing. It's fun. And it's a great way to talk with your fellow people that you ride with. They become like brothers and sisters because you share stories. You become personally attached to them. And we stayed the night at a friend of a friend's house. And you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. But we ended up having the greatest time.
He was a super cool guy.
It was a super cool guy, and we never would have met him before. You know, we swapping stories, and it was a great ride. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, most memorable ride for me was the director's ride last year, where we did Cayuse Pass, 410, off Highway 410, and then we ended up doing 4 passes that day.
Right.
And it was a 12.5-hour ride, 500 or 600 miles. We had come around, I think it was Cayuse Pass, and there was a car accident on 410, and they had shut it down. So we had to loop back around, and we took Paradise Loop.
Right.
So what we did is basically we did a whole loop around Mount Rainier. And so on this side of Mount Rainier, we get to see a certain view of it. On the back side of it, we got some really nice pictures of the glaciers of Mount Rainier that we never would have been able to see. That was probably one of the most windiest, twistiest roads I've ever been on. We were down to about 6 or 7 riders by that time.
Right.
We started off with 10 or 12. We stopped at lunch on the back side.
And there's a ton of people, just regular tourists, because it was like the last weekend of the summer before it turned, and everybody was out. But it still was the best
I think it snowed a week later.
Yeah, it snowed a week later, but the temperature was perfect. The weather was perfect. So I didn't mind. I don't think anybody really minded that it ended up, I think, almost close to 14 hours that day.
Yeah, it was a long ride.
It was fun.
You don't really appreciate it until you get home and you take your gear off and you look at how many miles you logged, and then everyone's texting you, hey, I got home, great ride. Hey, I got home, that was awesome, we're gonna have to do that again. And then you really get to reflect on some of the things you've seen, the things you've done, who you did it with, how much fun they had, and then it really, it's like, you know what, that was really cool. And I told one of our chapter members the next day, I said, you know, that was by far the best ride I've ever been on. And he goes, there's a lot more like that to come. And so that made me feel really the warm fuzzy inside, you know, the camaraderie, but also that there's a ton of places, like thousands of places like that.
We won't,
That hopefully we get a chance to see all of them and experience all of them.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We just have to take pictures.
We take a lot of pictures.
Right.
We have a GoPro that I want to mount up on the windshield for the next time we go, because we've used that on trips underwater and stuff. But we keep saying, let's put the GoPro and we forget. Right.
Do it next one.
And then we can
Another
maybe post some of
perspective of
those
it.
on the Seattle HOG website
Absolutely.
and on our Facebook page and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's a couple of other women that ride on the back of their husband's bike, and they're taking their angle of photos. So it's really cool to have a photo of everybody, if you're in the front, having the photo of all the bikes behind you. And because obviously the riders of the motorcycle can't take pictures, so we're taking these neat.
Well, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to, at least, So it's really cool. And then every time we stop for someplace to eat, it's a big group photo.
Yeah.
So you can just see the passion and the fun and the family aspect of the whole thing. We're not a bunch of grumpy, mean-looking bikers that you think. Well, most of us aren't.
Yeah.
That you think when it comes to the black leather and the motorcycle gangs or something like that. It's really not like that. I mean, there are a couple, but most of it's just a big family, happy family.
I guess, what do you guys hope, I mean, you're the director and treasurer, I guess what do you hope people will take away from just motorcycle riding, or that you'd like people to know about it, or?
It's not for everybody. I wish it was. I wish it were. I understand living in the Seattle area, it can be fearful for some people to get on a bike and ride around here. But I would encourage people to work through that and to get good training, proper training, and practice those training techniques, and build up the confidence that we all have,
Right.
and we just haven't found it. And then to help nurture that confidence and grow it and get up and ride. There's, one other thing I want to say is there are so many beautiful places here in the state of Washington
Yeah.
that Cassie and I have got to experience by one, being on a motorcycle, but the other thing about being on the motorcycle is there's certain smells that you get and sights and different grades of temperature. Like, we live in North Bend, so you can leave here and it's like 25 degrees, or what would that be in Fahrenheit?
He's Canadian.
Oh.
So say it would
So
be
say
like
it would be
50,
75,
yeah.
80.
Yeah.
And then you can go past this a lot, and then it will drop down to 65. You can feel the difference in
Or
temperature.
going through the past, we went, 75 when we left, and it got down into the 40s.
To the 40s.
And then came back up again on the eastern side, close to 100.
Wow.
That was all in one day when
Uh-huh.
when we took a ride. So you just got to be prepared.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a life jacket.
And the Olympic National Park,
Yeah.
when you ride through a forested area, smelling the pine trees and the Doug fir trees and the pine cones on the ground, that warm summer smell, really evoke memories of me of riding through certain spots at certain times. Or when you ride, you're riding down the back road, like there must be a county fair or something, because you
Right,
can
or-
smell like caramelized onions
Right.
and,
You always tell
and
who's
cotton candy or
barbecuing.
something, or who's barbecuing.
Right.
or
Mowing
something.
their yard.
Or mowing their lawn is another
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
My daughter and I were riding yesterday, and she's like, "Dad, do you smell that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it smells like fresh cut grass." And there was a guy mowing his lawn.
And that is a memory that our daughter is going to cherish. She's going to smell that smell again, and then she's going to think about, I got to ride in the back
Right,
of the bike
Dad's
with
bike.
Dad.
Yep.
That's going to be a cherished memory for them.
She likes the bike, but not to be picked up from school.
Oh, why not?
Because
It's not cool right now,
Well-
but hopefully it will be.
when she was going to elementary school, I picked her up on a Friday. I didn't tell her, and I showed up in my Road King. So it's a really
Loud.
It's loud.
Yeah.
It's black and lots of chrome, and all the kids were like, "Audrey, your dad's got a cool bike." And then she was
She was like, no.
headed buried like this, like I'm embarrassed. So hopefully she grows out of that.
Yeah, she should.
Hopefully,
I mean,
She'll probably get her own bike someday.
yeah.
That's what I think.
maybe.
Well, they said it was cool. So that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a
The
good
cool
thing.
kids think it.
But as a 11-year-old girl or a 12-year-old girl, any attention is negative attention.
Right.
So just wants to blend in. Not be seen or heard. Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Audrey.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's super exciting. I mean, I think, I think you guys both, like, Seattle HOG was super welcoming of me and
Mhm.
everyone. So, I mean, increasing membership should be an issue, but I think the
Right.
community aspect that you guys have fostered has been
Right.
really great.
Yeah, one thing we did last year with Brian's support is we did a community ride for first responders. And that was a really great ride. We have some retired police officers as part of our chapter. And so we wanted to give back to the people in this community that Jet City serves and is served by. So we came up with a first responder ride, and we planned out the 7 fire stations that are in Renton and the 1 police station. We brought the idea to Brian. He got behind it 100%.
Right.
And again, what can I do? And I said, well, what we would like to do is bring a couple things of Costco cookies to each fire station and some
Some
swag.
swag, right.
So he goes, how many fire stations? I said, I think there is 7 fire stations, 1 police station. So he must have given us 20, 30 t-shirts, all kinds of keychains and sunglasses and Chip City Harley-Davidson coins and all this other kind of stuff. And so Cassie and I did a pre-ride to make sure that we could hit all these fire stations without zigzagging all over the Renton area.
Right.
And a whole bunch of people signed up. It was a great ride, and we just went up to each fire station, and they were super surprised, thankful, and grateful that, hey, we just want to say thank you for what you do in our community.
Yeah.
And I think that was a huge thing, not just for them to be appreciated and recognized for what they do. One of our members brought his helmet, who had a motorcycle accident, and he also, from a personal aspect, wanted to thank them and show what his helmet looked like, how he was incapacitated for a little bit, and just wanted to say thank you from a personal aspect. And it was great. It was really great feedback from all the fire stations. We got to take some really cool photos, you know, in front of every fire station with the fire men and women. And then our last stop was the police station here in Renton. And very gracious. They couldn't take the swag and stuff for policy reasons, but they did take the cookies.
They did take the cookies.
Right? So thank you very much, and it was a great time, and that's another ride we hope to do again this year, just to give back to the community because they've been overwhelming in support, not just for Jet City but for Seattle HOG and the members here.
And another ride that we do is for veterans. We have the local, or the Washington State Veterans Cemetery close by.
In
So
Tahoma.
in Tahoma.
Yeah.
So we do have quite a few former members of the military, and that's also a good ride to get everybody together, honor those that have served our country, and go to the cemetery and place flags or flowers or whatever, just to show our support for everyone and thank them for what they've done for us. So so there's a lot of things that we end up doing throughout the year.
So many ways to get involved.
Yes. Yep. And get back. Yeah. We also did a toy drive last
Toy
year.
run, Christmas.
The year before that, our chapter sponsored a couple families. I think one was we were recovering from leukemia and stuff. Some of our members volunteer at food banks, and we give back. It's important to give back to the community and the people that live here.
So with us and being involved in this group, it is all about the writing. That's basically what we're here to do. But it's also about giving back. It's about community. It's about family. And it's about showing that we care as a whole for the community, not just our little spot in it, So anything we can do together and throw a ride in the mix.
Put some miles on my bike.
Someone else in the bike is a good thing.
That was fantastic, guys. And it's just great to be part of a community that values community. So thank you guys for just emphasizing that and for making that happen. So is there anything you guys haven't shared that you would like to share?
No, we just want to thank you. For just being a part of our chapter, but also for sponsoring us for our first aid class next year. Not next year, next Saturday. We are having a first aid trauma class sponsored by Janelle and her team, and that is also part of our safety officer who has networked with you to provide that service that I hope we never have to use. And also for Jet City for giving us the space to do that.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, the support is from everywhere. So, if it's something that you're interested in, this class is full, but we will have more in the future. That's all I got for now.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate being
It's our
asked.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.